Welcome to 21 Australian Under 15 and Youth Championships. This is session 12, our final session, and it's the men's 96, 102 and 102 plus bodyweight categories. I'm your host, Linda Eves, currently in Sydney, New South Wales. This weekend, we were meant to be in Hobart having our first face-to-face national competition in over a year, but COVID put a stop to that. So rather than letting the pandemic get the better of us, we decided to make the most of the opportunity of the current situation and utilise technology to its fullest to ensure these young lifters get an opportunity to display their skill and strength on the platform. These athletes have maintained their training programs to peak for this event, and now they'll compete for the title of Australian champion. Let me introduce them to you now. So our first lifter from Queensland is Hilton M. Lifter from Western Australia is Jet Hoover. Queensland lifter Sylvan Richardson. Victorian lifter Dante Hosking and Queensland lifter Joshua Sweet. So 2 lifters, Hilton and Jet, in the 96 category, 2 lifters, Sylvan and Dante, in the 102, and Joshua Sweet representing the 102 plus bodyweight category. Our referees in this session are Mark Brown, James Mildren, and Jessica Edge. Our timekeeper and marshal is Ian Moyer. Our jury president is Pedro Sanchez, and jury members are Robert Gotts and Coral Quinnell. We'll be communicating with the digital attempt card, which will allow them to enter weights so the competition can run as if we were all lifting together in one location. We've done our best to simulate the elements of an in-person competition, so our timekeeper and marshal will be running the scoring system and entering weight changes from coaches as they come in. The order of lifting will proceed as if the athletes are sharing the platform. As always, each athlete will have 3 attempts at the snatch and 3 attempts at the clean and jerk. Each of their best lifts will be added together to provide a total for the competition. There will be a 10-minute break between the 2 sections of the competition. So with no further ado, we will start this final session here at the Under 15 and Youth Australian Championships. Our first lifter is from Queensland, and it is Joshua Sweet, and the bar weight requested is 30 kilos.
Let's go, champ. Let's go. Keep that chest up, man, and stretch up. Come on. Easy. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there. Hold.
Down.
Yeah. Let's go. Easy
And a
work.
good lift for Joshua on his opening attempt there. So we'll see the automatic increment applied and 31 kilos on that bar for the same lifter and a 3-minute clock counting down for Joshua.
Small yellows on, please.
That's 33, yeah? Yeah.
Haven't better than the one you did on here.
Yes.
Good work, man. Yeah. Jeez. Oh, share my grey hairs with your dad, okay?
Okay, so Joshua taking more. So 33 kilos the requested weight on the bar. So in this particular format, we are requiring an extra minute be added to the 2-minute when a lifter is taking consecutive lifts, and that's just to allow for loading time because we're not stopping the clock to load the bar as we would do normally in a face-to-face event. And certainly when we have lifters taking non-sequential, so they're moving from one lifter to the next, it's actually a very quick format because the bar for the next lifter is already loaded, ready to go. and with the majority of lifters lifting from different fleet to the next. So current call is on Queensland Lifter Joshua Sweet, and Joshua is lifting in the 102 plus under 15 category today.
Let's go, champ. Same way.
Big pull. Come on.
Chest up and stretch up. Come on. Oh, you see. Hold it there. Hold it there. Hold. Down. You.
And
Put some weight on that bar, man. Put some weight on it.
33 kilos. We now go to 34 kilos. And it will be the third attempt for Joshua from Queensland. Hilton Im, please prepare. You'll be the lifter to follow. Okay, Joshua taking more. So the call still stays with Josh, but we go to 35 kilos on the bar. Okay, so it looks like the loaders are almost finished there. So, and Josh taking a little bit more weight there. So the call now going to 36. And loaders have it lined up spot on in the middle of that platform. So normally in a face-to-face competition, we would be competing on a 4x4 meter wooden platform. But in the online version of this event, we are allowing lifters to compete on smaller platforms so they can lift from their various locations around the country. It's the third attempt for Joshua Sweet from Queensland. Hilton Im, you'll be the lifter to follow. So here
Let's
comes
go, champ.
Joshua.
Best one. Come on. Yes, 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 yes. Come on. Hold. Down.
And unfortunately, even though that was a good chase, it was a no lift for Josh on that third attempt. So he'll have to be happy with 33. We now move to Queensland lifter Hilton Im, 58 kilos on the bar for his first attempt.
All right, spotlight. Let's go. Wait for the down signal. Wait.
Down.
And a good lift there for Hilton on his opener at 58 kilos. So 59, the automatic increment for Hilton. I'm sure we'll see some additional weight on that bar. Hilton is going up, so 62 is the weight requested for his second attempt. Hilton lifting in the 96 bodyweight category and as an under 15 competitor. So loaders that bar set and placed for the second attempt of Hilton Im. And plenty of time still on the clock for Hilton. It's been great over this weekend watching and emceeing the competition and seeing how many parents have been involved with the process, assisting with loading and with other roles at all of the athletes' venues around the country. So we now have the second attempt of Hilton Im from Queensland competing in the 96 category, and here comes Hilton for his second attempt.
Beautiful. Wait.
Down.
And another good lift for Hilton on 62 kilos. So we'll see the automatic increment applied there for Hilton. And Hilton's taking more weight. So we'll see 65 kilos being loaded onto the bar. And it puts a smile on my dial seeing a set of Alico weights from Gold Coast 2018 from the Com Games being used there in Brisbane with the Queensland Lifters. So 65 is the weight on call for Hilton Im third attempt. Dante Hosking Manny is prepared to the load. So bar is set and in place. It was a really, really wonderful sight being able to assist at the 2018 games and see the number of sets of equipment set up at the competition venue, but also at the training venue. So here's Hilton for his third attempt.
Finishing up. Come on. Beautiful. Wait.
Down.
And a good lift there to finish off for Hilton, 3 from 3. We now need to go to a 75 kilo bar and Victorian lifter Dante Hosking Manny for his opening attempt. And hopefully some of these young lifters will be lifting in the future at a Com Games or even an Olympics.
Down.
And a good opener there for Dante on 75 kilos. We'll go with the increment initially for Dante. So 76 kilo and Dante's taking more. So we'll change the order of lifting and go to West Australia. And for Jet Hoover for his opening attempt and a 78 kilo bar. So first attempt for Jet Hoover, Western Australia, 78 kilos on the bar. And Jet is in the 96 bodyweight category.
Down.
And a good open on 78. So we'll see the automatic increment initially there for Jet, and Jet going up to 81. So the call will go to Dante Hosking Manny for his second attempt. Request on the bar for the Victorian lifter is 80 kilos.
Down.
And that was a no lift by majority for Dante, unfortunately, on 80 kilos. So the bar will remain on 80 kilos at this stage, and it will stay with Dante, and there'll be a 3-minute clock. Jet Hoover, please prepare. So loaders just ensuring those big plates are nipped up nice and tight against the sleeve. The collars do push out when the bar gets dropped onto the platform. And it's important that those big weights are in place. So Dante lifting in the 102 bodyweight category, and he's in both the under 15 and youth section of the competition. So if you've been watching this event live and think that you like the look of weightlifting and are involved, reach out to your state sporting association and get in touch with someone there, or go to the club locator pages. And here's Dante, third attempt.
Down. Down. Down.
And
did you hear me then, Linda?
Yep, sorry, that was a no lift for Dante, unfortunately, on his third attempt there with 80 kilos. So we now move to 81 kilos on the bar, and it is for Jet Hoover from Western Australia for his second attempt.
Down.
And a good lift there for Jet by majority on 81 kilos. So 82 on the bar. And it will stay with Jet Hoover from Western Australia. Jet taking more, so 83 kilos needed on that bar, but the call still stays with the same lifter. Sylvan Richardson, you will be the lifter to follow. So Jet in the 6th youth section of the competition. So weightlifting is a sport that you can do really anywhere, anytime. Many of our lifters having equipment at home as well, especially following last year. And it's a great sport to also supplement other sports that require power as an underlying component. So many lifters also competing in other sports. is Australian lifter Jet Hoover, 83 kilos on the bar, and third attempt. Here comes Jet.
Down.
And a good lift there for Jet on his third attempt, just taking that bar for a little bit of a run, but managing to maintain control. So we now move to Queensland Lifter and our final lifter for this session, and 95 kilos on the bar for Sylvan Richardson.
Use your legs. Beautiful. Weight.
Down.
And a good opening attempt there for Sylvan on 95 kilos. We now need 96 kilos on the bar for the same lifter. Okay, no surprises there. Sylvan taking more. 101 is the weight requested on the bar. So Sylvan competes 102 body weight category as a youth competitor. And just confirming that we will have a 15-minute break between the snatch and the clean and jerk. So that's a 15-minute break between the snatch and the clean and jerk because of the number of lifters in the session, only being 5 lifters. We need a little bit of additional time for the preparation for the clean and jerk. So this is our final session here at the Under 15 Youth Championships. It's been a big weekend, 12 sessions in total, which is fabulous. Our young lifters putting on a great competition. The current call is with Queensland lifter Sylvan Richardson. 101 requested on the bar for his second attempt.
Your legs. Weight.
Down.
And a good lift for Sylvan on 101. We now go with the automatic increment initially. So 102 on the bar for the third attempt of Sylvan Richardson from Queensland. And Sylvan taking more. So 106 is the requested weight on the bar. So the loader's just changing those plates over. At the current time, the online competition, we are adding an extra minute to a 2-minute clock to allow for loading time. So Sylvan taking more, 107 being loaded on the bar. So the jury president has just put a message in the chat for our coaches. If you could check that. So call is on Sylvan Richardson. So just need to confirm with all of the coaches regarding the break time. For his third attempt, 107 on the bar. Just not able to get that overhead into that sweet spot. So Sylvan finishing off with 101. And we've confirmed with our coaches at each of the venues that a 10-minute break would be adequate. So we will set the clock to 10 minutes and we will see you back very, very shortly. Stay tuned. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the 2021 Australian Under 15 and Youth Championships. We are underway with session 12, our final session for the weekend, and it's the men's 96, 102 and 102 plus bodyweight categories. We've just been on a 10-minute break between the snatch and the clean and jerk, and we're ready to start the final portion of the competition. Our first lifter up from Queensland is Joshua Sweet, 34 kilos requested on the bar, 1 minute on the clock for Joshua.
Let's go, champ. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, man. Come on.
Stretch.
Go.
Easy. Come on. Strong.
Come on. Come on. Punch it. Punch it.
Real hard.
Push, 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 push.
And a good lift by majority there for Joshua on 34 kilos. Automatic increment is 35 kilos, and it is for the same lifter. So we're counting down a 3-minute clock for Joshua. And that gets Josh on the board with a total 67 kilos. And Josh is competing in the 102 plus as a under 15 lifter and the sole competitor in that category. So he's just got himself a medal. So 37 kilos is now the call for Josh Sweet from Queensland. So 37 kilos called for the bar. And we've had one more change through for Josh. So 40 kilos now called for our first lifter. So we're not stopping the clock for lifters taking consecutive lifts. So 40 kilos, the current call for Josh Sweet from Queensland. Plenty of time still on. So we should have two big whites, 5 kilos each, a 2.5 on either side inside the collars. And it is the second attempt in the clean and jerk for Joshua Sweet.
Come on, take your time, mate. Take your time. Stretch up, stay tight. Let's go. Come on. Punch it. Big punch. Come on. Push, 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 push. Down.
And a good lift there for Josh on 40 kilos. And he's got the cheer squad going there tonight. And 1 kilo for Josh. And that's the automatic increment. Following a successful lift. Hilton in, please prepare. You'll be the lifter to follow. So it looks like Josh is going to take a bit more than 41 because I can see 42 kilos being loaded on the bar there. And clock counting down from a 3-minute clock because Josh is taking consecutive lifts. And I'd hazard a guess maybe that was a PB lift for Josh in that second attempt. We've got a change come through for Josh and 40 kilos on is now the required lift. So 42 already on the bar.
I'll give you a hand, mate.
And our next national competition planned on the calendar is in Brisbane, the Australian Open, in the middle of August. Entries, I believe, have just closed for that event.
Extended. They're extended until Monday.
You get that, Linda?
I did. Can I confirm that, Ian and Bon? Was that a yes?
Yes. Post.
Let's go, champ.
Well, here comes Josh.
Come on. Come on. Go! Drive it. Drive the punch. Come on. Punch. Down.
And he got that overhead, but unfortunately no lift there, just pressing that left arm out.
Unlucky, boy.
But a
Unlucky.
great effort for
Unlucky.
Josh with a total of 73 kilos. We now go to Hilton Im from Queensland and a 72 weight requested on the bar.
Let's go. Come on. Come on. Good stretch up here. Push feet in, stretch up. Come on. Drive.
Down.
And a good opener there for Hilton on 72 kilos. So the automatic increment, 73 kilos, and that will be with the same lifter. And Hilton taking more. So 76 kilos needed on that bar now. And the call stays with Hilton. So we're counting down from that 3-minute clock. And I'm sure plenty of lifters around Australia excited about that recent announcement that the entries for the Australian Open have been extended until midnight tomorrow. I've just been a little busy, so missed that one myself. So the call is currently for Hilton Im Queensland second attempt, 76 kilos. And platform just being tidied up there. Ready for that second attempt. So if you're a coach of an athlete who has qualified for the Australian Open, please make sure your athletes get their entries in. You can go to the websites or on the AWF website, scroll down to that event, and there is a live link that takes you to the entry form for that Australian Open scheduled for August in Brisbane. Hey, he's Hilton for his second attempt.
Squeeze bump.
Unfortunately, no lift there for Hilton, just a little bit too far. So we'll stay with 76 kilos on the bar and stays with the same lifter. So it looks like Hilton is maybe going to take some more weight, and he is indeed. So 80 kilos being loaded on the bar now for Hilton for his third attempt. And despite the challenges that having to lift remotely have thrown up to our lifters, it's been a really good opportunity for our family to be involved in this event, as many of the lifters lifting in one of the opportunities that this provides is our lifters the opportunity to have a bit of a challenge associated with their lifting that is beyond the normal. And it's always a good opportunity to build resilience. So our final lift for
Come on. Positive now. Come on. Why not? We'll get this. Come on. Drive it straight now. Don't overthink it. Just drive it straight. Come on. Push, 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 push. Wait.
Down.
And a good lift there for Hilton on 80 kilos. And there's a big grin on that face as he walks off there back to the warm-up room. We now need to go to Victorian lifter Dante Hosking Manning with a 90 kilo bar for his first attempt.
Down.
And a good opener there from Dante for his first attempt. Just staying in that bottom of the clean there while he gained his balance. And we'll have the automatic increment initially showing there on the screen, but Dante is taking more. So 95 kilos needed on the bar for the second attempt of Dante from Victoria. Victorian team took the opportunity to still travel to Tasmania to lift. Many other athletes not able to do that because of current circumstances. Callers for the second attempt of Dante Hosking Money from Victoria. Jet Hoover, please prepare. So there's a couple of other events that are coming up on the calendar. In September is the Masters, Australian, Oceania and Commonwealth Championships scheduled for Cairns. And then the Australian Senior Championships a week later scheduled in Sydney. We have already had the under 20, so junior and under 23 Australian Championships earlier in the year in March, and that was run as a state-based hub event over a weekend, being compiled to determine the winners in each of those age categories for their body weights. So good to see that this event has taken place with our athletes actually competing against each other in real time. I'm pretty sure that many of the athletes have revelled in that opportunity. And here's Dante, second attempt.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Down.
And another good lift there for Dante on 95 kilos. So 96 kilos will be the automatic increment. Dante lifting in both the under 15 section of the competition in the 102 bodyweight category. So Dante taking more, so 100 kilos loaded on the bar for the third attempt of Victorian lifter Dante Hosking Money. Jet Hoover, you'll be the lifter to follow. So this is the final session of 12 sessions over this weekend. And early next week, the team results will be compiled. So all of our best lifters from each of the states contributing to a point score that determines the overall best team for the under 15 women, the under 15 men, the youth women and the youth men. And shields available for those states with those winning teams. And here's Dante, third attempt.
Down.
And a good lift for Dante, 3 from 3 in the clean and jerk this evening and finishing with a total of 175. We now move to West Australian lifter Jet Hoover and a 101 weight on the bar. Unfortunately, no lift there for Jet on 101.
Thanks.
Just releasing those elbows there. So the bar will stay at 101 and the lift will stay with Jet. We have one more lifter still to compete in this session here, the last session at the under 15 and under 17 or youth Australian Championships. So if you haven't heard the news, the thing that is on the tender hooks is that the entries for the Oz Open have been extended till midnight tomorrow night. So if you're a lifter who's qualified or a coach with lifters who have qualified, make sure you check whether they have their entry in, and if not, get them online to do that. So the call is with Jet Hoover from West Australia, second attempt.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Jet. Just that left elbow giving him some trouble. 1-1 stays on the bar. It is the third attempt for Jet. So clock continuing to count down for the third attempt. Sylvan Richardson from Queensland, you'll be the lifter to follow. So Jet competing in the youth part of the championships in the 96 bodyweight category. We have one more lifter to start the clean and jerk here in the final session. And session will weekend of lifting. And I'm sure once all of that data is uploaded as well, we'll see just how many lifters have broken state and or national records. And there'll certainly be a lot of lifters who've achieved competition PBs over this weekend. There was certainly a lot of delight on many faces. So we need and we want Jet to get this lift. So third attempt for Jet on 101.
Down.
And that was a good lift for Jet on 101. Getting on the board there and getting a total and great relief from him and from the coaching team as well. So we now move to our final lifter from Queensland, 118 on the bar for Sylvan Richardson.
Legs, come on. Good. Come on, drive under.
Down.
And a good lift there for Sylvan on his opener at 118 and on the board with a total. So 119, the automatic increment. Sylvan taking more. So 123 we'll see loaded onto that bar, 5 kilo increase. And the clock counting down from 3 minutes as we've seen over this weekend. So the Oz Open scheduled for August, planned to take place at Chandler there. And I know we're all looking forward to the opportunity to be face-to-face at that event. We've all got our fingers and toes crossed. So second attempt for Queensland lifter Sylvan Richardson. And Sylvan is competing in the men's 102 category as a youth lifter. Remaining in the clean and jerk here in the last session at the under 15 and youth Australian Championships.
Come on, Sylvan.
Thanks. Come on, drive under.
Down.
And unfortunately, no lift there for Sylvan on that weight at 123. So we'll see that stay at 123 and 3 minutes on the clock. And this will be the final attempt for Sylvan, but also the final attempt of the competition. So he is currently sitting in first place in the youth men's 102 section with a total of 219. 5 lifters across 3 bodyweight categories. So there has been a change in call come through. So 127 being loaded onto the bar now. So we'll see a double set of reds. So 127 is the call for Sylvan for his third attempt. We'll see that reflected in the scoreboard very shortly. So plenty of time still on the clock for Sylvan. And just waiting for that scoreboard to reflect 127. There we go. And just over a minute on the clock for our final lifter in today's competition.
Come on, Sylvan.
Come on. Come on, big effort now. Come on. This is where you get it. Come on, use your legs. Come on, up. Now, come on, drive it. Push.
Down.
And a good lift for Sylvan Richardson from Queensland on 127 to finish off the competition and get a total of 228. It was a great session, gentlemen. Congratulations to you all. I'm going to run through the placings for our 3 bodyweight categories. So in the men's 96 kilo bodyweight category, 1 lifter in the under 15 section of the competition, and that was Hilton Im from Queensland with a total of 145. We have from Western Australia, the 1 lifter in the youth championships with a total of 184, and that was Jet Hoover. In the men's 102 kilo bodyweight category, in the under 15 championships, we have 1 lifter, and that is Victorian lifter Dante Hosking Money with a total of 175. So all of those lifters taking away a gold medal. And in the youth championships, in the men's 102 2 lifters, so in the silver medal place, Dante Hosking Manny from Victoria, again with a 175 total. And in first place, and we just saw Sylvan lifting there, so Sylvan Richardson from Queensland with a total of 228. And then lastly, in the men's 102 plus bodyweight category, 1 lifter in the under 15 age group, and that was Joshua Sweet from Queensland in the gold medal position with a total of 73 kilos. So congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you to everyone who's participated in this event over the 2 days, all of the athletes, the coaches, the people who've helped load, the family and friends, to all of our technical officials and everybody else running systems behind the scene in IT. It has been a fabulous competition, and I know our young lifters will remember this one for many years to come. We hope to see you all in person lifting together very shortly. Thank you very much, and thank you for tuning in this weekend.
Okay, you're right.
Thanks everybody. That was fantastic. It was an amazing effort with 3 or 4 days notice to pull that together. Sterling work from Linda. You must have run out of words by now, but that was fantastic. Thanks very much for keeping it all together technically. Well, on the weightlifting technical side, Bowen on the IT technical side, and everyone else around the place. Leanne Springer, who did every single weigh-in, went off without a hitch, and we got everything we needed right on time to make it all work. So thank you very, very much to everyone involved. It was fabulous.
Thanks everyone that was involved.
Yeah.
Great effort. Signing off.
We're out.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
And,
Bye.
Yeah, Bowen, get some sleep.